Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for tuning in with me today. I am so excited because NOMAD Cosmetics has just revealed their brand new eyeshadow palette, Fairy Tale Europe, and they were so kind to actually send me this palette. So full disclosure, this palette was actually gifted to me by the brand without any obligations to post about it. But honestly, like if one of my favorite eyeshadow brands in the world is gonna send me their product, I'm of course gonna make a video. Of course I will. And I'm just really excited to be giving you all of the details on this brand new release. I'm gonna show you close-ups, swatches, all of that. And I'm also gonna be doing 2 looks in today's video. And I'm also gonna make sure to create some additional looks as shorts, and you can find them over on my shorts tab within the next days. Furthermore, Nomad Cosmetics also did send me their Chamonix Après-Ski eyeshadow palette, so I'm going to be creating looks with this palette very soon as well, and I'm going to be posting them over on my shorts tab too in case you are interested in this palette. I'm so happy to have these palettes now by Nomad. Like honestly, I can't wait to show you this brand new eyeshadow palette though. Like this Fairy Tale Europe palette is incredible, so incredible. I also have a discount code for you guys that's going to get you, I think, 10% off. I'm going to put it right here. I think it's just Pammy, to be honest. So you can save some coins. This is not affiliated. I don't earn any commission, but it's just a discount code for my audience. So before I am jumping into giving you all of the details and creating some looks with this beautiful palette, in case you do end up enjoying this video, please don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and also ring the bell in order to get notified about my upcoming videos. That is always very much appreciated. But all right, so let's actually talk about this beautiful Fairy Tale Europe eyeshadow palette by Nomad Cosmetics. This beauty is gonna be retailing for $59. It's gonna be released March 11th. So set your alarms for that date because, oh my gosh, guys, you are in for a surprise. I mean, just by the outer packaging, this is just so beautiful. I mean, this is giving me princess fairy tale vibes all the way through. This outer packaging is so stunning. I mean, we have the castle that almost is done like a 3D effect. Let's open up this beautiful palette. And oh my gosh, you are just gonna lose it when you see this color story. I mean, let's start off with the ratio. We have 18 shades in total. 6 of them are mattes, and they all come in a beautiful neutral colorway. And then we have these stunning 12 shimmer shades, and I do feel like the price point is slightly elevated at $59 because we have 12 of these stunning shimmer shades. And I've never seen a palette like that where they really combined some beautiful, colorful shimmers with these more neutral mattes. So I do think that this is really innovative. And you guys, I have not touched this one yet, so I'm gonna be doing the very first look as a first impressions with you. The swatches that you just saw, I'm gonna be doing them after I filmed this look, but I wanted you to have some swatches and some beautiful close-ups. I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit closer so we can create the very first look together. All right, you guys, you are zoomed in so that you can see a little bit closer what is actually going on my eyes. I have already put down an eyeshadow primer. I'm always using my Sigma eyeshadow base primer, and it's always linked in my description box as well. This is the shade Persuade. But you guys, I am so excited for this. Oh my gosh, this palette, literally, I cannot wait. So for today's look, I feel like I'm gonna be playing around with these more neutral tones. And then for the second look, I definitely do want to do a little bit more of a cool toned smoky eye look with this gray in particular, and also with the black. I kind of want to do that for the second look. We shall see what I'm going to decide what shimmers to use, because all of these shimmers look incredible. They look so stunning. I cannot wait. It's been a while since I've done like neutral mattes with like really popping shimmer shades. So I'm gonna start off with this shade right here. This is named Craigievar Castle, which is actually in Scotland. I actually know that place. And so that is such a pretty castle. You gotta look it up. It's really, really pretty. So I'm gonna start off with this one. I'm gonna put this all over my crease and just kind of use this as a base for everything else that we're gonna be putting on later on. Let's go. This is like a beautiful sort of neutral beigey shade, like a lighter mid-tone shade. And what I also really love about Nomad Cosmetics is the fact that these mattes are very buildable. So you can definitely build up the saturation with these, and they just blend out like seamless. They just have such a great blend. This beige in particular has a beautiful, almost like pinky undertone to it. I love shades like that. I honestly do. So we are going to be moving on to the next shade, and that is the shade called Chateau de Chambord. I have actually been to Chateau de Chambord when I was a kid. It is huge. It's a huge castle, and it's part of the Val de la Loire castles. And when I was a kid, my parents took me to see all of these castles. So that's kind of funny that they named a shade like that. So I'm gonna go into this shade right now, and I'm just gonna, deepen up what we have laid down already. So I would say that this is probably more of a mid-tone shade. Oh my gosh, but these neutrals are so beautiful. The tones of these. More on the cool toned side, definitely, without being gray or ashy. This is more of that pinky undertone, and I just love having these neutrals by Nomad Cosmetics because, again, they just make some fantastic mattes and they just blend out like a dream. It's almost like a buttery formula, You could not tell that this is a powder, actually. They almost look like cream eyeshadows in the best way possible. And let's move on to the next one, and this is actually Neuschwanstein. So I've never been to Neuschwanstein, honestly, but I'm going to be moving on to this deeper shade now, this deeper brown. It's not too warm though, because otherwise that would not really match. And I'm just going to deepen up my outer corner with this shade. So now I'm going to take a brush without any product on it, and I'm just going to blend this out slightly to make it all look a little bit more diffuse and a little bit more even. I'm also not worried about this situation right here because I'm always cleaning up my edges later on in the process. So I'm just gonna blend this out a little bit. This is very beautiful. So I love these tones together. So I'm gonna go into the lightest shade now, and that one is called Alcazar de Segoya. I've never been there, but let's use the shade to brighten up my inner corners. I might also just blend this part out a little bit with it, like my brow bone. All right, I'm going to be moving on to the lower lash line now. Before I'm doing that, the way I always like to make a neutral eyeshadow pop, not solely with a colorful shimmer shade, but also with a colorful waterline. I think it can add something very special to your look. And I actually pulled out this shade, this baby blue pastel shade. It's called Prawns, and it's like a ColourPop cream gel liner. I love these. These are so long lasting. They look amazing in the waterline. Hopefully it's the right choice because I am still very much undecided what I want to do. Because all of these shimmers are so beautiful. This is just, it's just such a hard decision. But I think I'm going to try this one out. Just look at that pigment. And I just love like some blue with these cool toned neutrals. That just always looks fantastic. So for my lower lash line, I'm going to go into the shade Chateau de Chambord and Neuschwanstein again. Basically these two. I'm going to use both of these to do my lower lash line. All right, my lower lash line is done. So my next step is that I'm going to be cleaning up the edges And then I'm going to be applying some glitter glue and I shall be applying some of these stunning shimmers. So I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I am so undecided what I want to do. I think I'm going to go in with the shade Sleeping Beauty, this one right here. I'm going to be putting that all over my lids, and then I want to go in with this shade, First Kiss, this one right here. Oh my gosh, okay. Wow, that is stunning. That is like a green to pink, purple, silver. Oh, I love these shades. So let's go. And I'm just taking this on my finger. I mean, you could also, use a brush. This is just how I prefer to apply my shimmers. I always just prefer it with my fingers. And then I'm gonna go and blend them out with a brush. Oh, their shimmer formula is spectacular. So smooth. Oh, this is so pretty, you guys. Very, very stunning. I kind of feel like, though, as if I want to put down a little bit of a deeper shimmer just to make this transition a little bit smoother. And I think I'm going to go into the shade Magic Spell. This shade right here, I'm just going to take a little bit of this. It looks almost like a slated gray with some green. And I'm just tapping. This shade exactly did what I wanted it to do to make that transition a little bit more even. I really like where this look is going. Now I'm gonna go into the shade First Kiss, this shade right here, and I'm gonna just put that in my inner corner. Oh my gosh. I mean, the shade looks wet. It looks so pretty. Incredible, incredible. Of course, I'm going to use a brush to just, blend this out, and I'm going to bring this down. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful, like, pinky shade, like skin tone pink with some beautiful light blue shimmer in here. So I want to put something onto my lower lash line just to sort of like tie the look in. I think I'm going to go into this shade Love Story, which is this beautiful turquoise icy shade right here. I think I'm going to just use this. So I'm just going to put it right here. I mean, this is giving me major princess vibes. Very much like pastel sort of combination with these beautiful cool toned neutrals. I'm going to put on some mascara, a lip color, and I'll be right back to show you my very first finished look. All right, you guys, I am back. My makeup look is complete. I am so in love with this look. It is so special. It's something completely different. I don't think I have ever done a look like this. And I just love how everything kind of goes together. And I can't wait to try out more of these shimmers. So let's actually move on to look number 2. All right, you guys, it is the next day and I'm so ready to create look number 2 with the beautiful Fairy Tale Europe eyeshadow palette. And I actually did swatch the palette yesterday after I finished filming the very first look. And I actually got an idea of what I want to do today. I'm not 100% sure just yet, but we shall see where this is gonna go. So I think I'm gonna start off this look with this gray matte shade right here, Akershus Fortress. And I had to look up where that is. It is actually in Norway. I've never been to Norway. So I'm gonna put this gray shade into my crease and then see if I have to slightly warm it up with one of these beigey tones right here. But you guys know I adore gray eyeshadow. I love a good gray eyeshadow. Not everyone loves gray. I think it suits me really well. And yeah, I just really love cool tones. What are we thinking? I honestly love a good gray. I think this looks amazing. It was so easy to blend this out and to build it up, actually. Okay, so I do want to go into the Craigavon Castle shade, and I'm going to use this shade right here just to blend this gray shade out a little bit more. Right, that's everything I wanted to do with this shade. So I'm going to go into the lightest shade right now, into the shade Alcazar de Segovia. This one right here. I'm just going to bring this into my inner corners. So I'm going to move on to the deepest shade in the palette. I'm gonna use the black shade here. It's called Chillon Castle. I think it's pronounced Chillon. It's actually in Switzerland. When I swatched this was not the most intense black I've ever swatched, but who knows how it's gonna look onto the eyes. So I'm just gonna proceed a little bit here with caution. I think it's okay. Just gonna stamp this on a little bit, and then I'm gonna take another brush to actually blend it out. Pretty buildable in that sense, so I'm glad about that. So I'm just gonna do the same thing on this eye. I'm going to proceed now with my lower lash line. And before I'm doing that, I'm actually going to be using an eyeliner in my waterline just to make the look pop. Like I'm going to be doing something like I did for the very first look. I'm going to use like a really punchy eyeliner because it's going to do something special to the look. And I pulled out this one. This one is actually by Moira. It's called Statement Gel Liner. I've been loving these. These are also fantastic, amazing. And this is the shade 08 Lime. So I'm going to be putting that in my waterline. They are very pigmented. So I'll be right back and then we're going to proceed with the lower lash line. But all right, so let's move on to the lower lash line. And I'm thinking maybe I want to go with more of these brown tone shades. So in that case, we would have used every single matte for today's look, like every shade. I think I'm going to start off with Neuschwanstein. This one right here, the deeper brown. I'm actually going to use that and I'm going to blend it out with the shade Chateau de Chambord. So these two for my lower lash line. I just want to make the transition a little bit smoother because right now I feel like you can tell where the brown starts and where this shade, begins. So I'm just going to go into the black just a little bit. And I'm not going to use this a lot. And now I'm going to smudge it out slightly, but that looks so much smoother. Okay, so I'm going to do this on the other side as well. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Chateau de Chambord, this one right here. So I'm going to be cleaning up my edges and then we're going to be moving on to these beautiful shimmers. All right, you guys, my edges are cleaned up. Now I'm going to go in with some glitter glue. I'm going to be using my NYX glitter glue and I'm just always applying this with my fingers. All right, so my glitter glue is applied, so I'm going to be moving on to some beautiful shimmers. Now, when I swatched this palette, I did realize that there were some very special shades. I mean, there are 4 multi-chromes in here. And this shade, Prince Charming, was just calling my name. This one. It looks so beautiful. It has a little bit of green in there. I want to use this. And I'm going to put that all over my lids. That looks stunning. So beautiful. This is definitely a multi-chrome. So let's see how it's going to be like. This goes from green to gold to almost like apricot. It almost feels like it has a little bit of orange reflection to it right here. I don't know if you can see that. Very interesting. And I love this formula. It's so smooth and buttery and very, very sparkly as well. Okay, so let's do it on the other eye as well. Ooh, I love it. But we're not done yet with the shimmers. So, next shade that I want to use, I really want to use Snow White. Like this shade right here, this is also a multi-chrome. I do feel like this has a little bit more of a pinky flip to it. So I'm going to place that in my inner corner. That is pink. On my finger, this shade, it looks like it has gold, orange, a little bit of lime green, and pink. I don't think I've ever done something like this, which is really exciting for me, to be honest, because I like to go out of my comfort zone and try something different. So I'm gonna use one more shimmer shade. I'm gonna place this right here where we have this empty space going on my lower lash line. I want to use the shade that I did yesterday all over my lids. I want to go into Sleeping Beauty. This one right here. This is such a beautiful one. It also has some holographic shimmer. And I completely forgot to mention that yesterday, so I'm gonna use this shade. All right, you guys, this lilac is literally so pretty. I think this is very interesting in terms of color combinations, right? So I'm gonna be finishing off my makeup look. I'm gonna apply some mascara, a little bit of highlighter, and a lip product, and I'll be right back. And I'm just gonna give you my initial thoughts on this eyeshadow palette after having created 2 looks with it. All right, you guys, I am back. My makeup is done. I have got to say, I really do like the way that this look came out. Something very different. And I feel like this palette is giving me something that I don't have in my collection. And that is pretty hard to accomplish these days. But this is truly unique. And I love that. I love that NOMAD is constantly reinventing themselves. I really love it. I really do like the whole theming of this palette. It's so stunning. And for the very first time, we have a shimmer heavy palette by NOMAD Cosmetics. And I do feel like they have really improved their shimmer formula so much over the years. These shimmers are really pretty. There are definitely a couple of different formulas when it comes to these shimmers in here. I mean, we do have these multi-chromes, but we also have some that are a little bit more sparkly. Yeah, I also love that we have enough variety going from light to deep with the shimmers. And guys, the mattes, that's a choice. That's a choice right there, creating these cool toned neutrals alongside with these popping shimmers. This is also maybe a palette for someone who just wants, you know, a neutral sort of matte look with a pop of a shimmer. Could be really interesting. It's also a choice to not have any neutral shades with the shimmers. Now, if this was my palette, to be honest with you, I don't really love like these types of golden shades. Like this is a very warm golden shade. But yeah, that is a very personal opinion. It's a very like personal taste. Otherwise, I do want to say though, there is a lot of pink going on here. This one, when I swatched it, it was hot pink. So I don't think this is going to be my favorite shade in the world. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of like hot pinks. But that would be my only critique when it comes to this palette. I do want to congratulate NOMAD Cosmetics for this release, and thank you so much for sending it over my way again. I really do appreciate it. And again, you guys, this is going to be released March 11th. I'm going to be leaving all of the details in my description box down below. Let me know. What are your thoughts on this palette? I would be really curious to know. Drop me a comment, and if you did enjoy this video, why not give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and also ring the bell in order to get notified about my upcoming videos. And I shall be seeing you on here with the next one. So please do take care. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.